Hello everyone, welcome back to Horror Mystery Rewind. Today we will talk about the movie I Am Losing Weight, which was released in 2018. If you like the video, share, like and subscribe to the channel. Spoilers ahead, enjoy and take care of yourself. In the Russian city of Nizhny Novgorod, the film opens. Anya, a woman in her 20s, lives with Zhenya, a bodybuilder and swimming instructor. She works in a bakery, so she is constantly around food. She was a size 0 when the couple first met, but she has put on a lot of weight since then. They are invited to a friend's wedding one day. Anya tries on clothes from a few months ago and discovers that they no longer fit. She comforts herself by stating that although no one will notice, her figure has changed significantly. Zhenya knows this too, but he doesn't want to comment on how much weight she has gained, knowing that it is a sensitive topic for her. Anya finds a good outfit and gets ready after trying on several and ruining some of them. Zhenya's face drops in disbelief when he sees her wearing the dress, since she is no longer the woman he was in a relationship with. The wedding will be attended by all of his colleagues from the fitness sector, therefore, he doesn't want to be seen with her there. He drops signals here and there in the hopes that she will remain at home. Anya replies that she wants to order pizza and remain in, which gives him some relief. She begs him to stay with her, but Zhenya pledges to congratulate the newlyweds and rush back home immediately. Before leaving, he picks her up and puts her on the counter but dodges when she tries to kiss him. Anya observes the gesture but covers her sadness. She changes into comfortable clothing after he departs and weighs herself, discovering that she weighs 76 kg. She constantly complains that she is gaining weight, but her only remedy is to follow her coaching and mentoring with a glass of water. While she waits for her boyfriend, she continues to make some fried food and browse the internet. She sees images of Zhenya and his pals at the wedding while she is on the phone. She enlarges a group photo and is worried to see how fit and trim the girls Zhenya spends out with are. She can't stop comparing herself to them. Then, she discovers a picture of Zhenya and a young woman. She is horrified to discover a picture of the girl kissing him on the cheek when she checks her profile. The video is enough to motivate Anya to get dressed, apply makeup, and race to the wedding. She asks Natasha, her best friend, to pick her up. Even though Natasha has noticed that Anya has put on weight, in her eyes, she still looks stunning. She grips her face and encourages her to feel good about her physique. When Anya arrives at the venue, she notices Zhenya dancing with the girl and getting a little too close. She puts herself between them out of pure jealousy. Zhenya is visibly surprised, but he continues dancing as the other girl scoffs and walks away. After a while, the couple sits down and Anya begins to eat. She questions him about dancing with the girl, but Zhenya tries to explain it away by saying they were dancing in a group. When Anya pushes him, he lashes out and admits that he no longer likes her. He goes on to say that she does nothing but eat and has become a burden to him. Anya begins to cry, but before they can say anything, the newlywed couple approaches them. When the bride asks Anya if she is pregnant, their smiles fade. After that, Zhenya bids her farewell and walks away. Anya is seen in the next scene traveling to her mother's house on a bus. She is crying uncontrollably, not caring what people think of her. She walks into her mother's home while on a date. He notices something strange and goes outside to give them some personal space. Anya informs her mother that her boyfriend ended their relationship due to her weight. Her mother remarks that she is not fat, but rather has wide bones that she is unable to control. The remark makes her feel even worse than she did before. She sleeps on her mother's couch at night while scrolling through Zhenya's photos on her phone. She also discovers a photo of herself from a few months ago. She zooms in on her body, saddened by how much she has changed. Natasha calls her the next morning and asks her to come over. Anya takes a bed on Natasha's balcony and complains about the breakup. Zhenya had arrived there last evening to drop off all her belongings. Natasha invites her to spend a few days with her and her husband Dimas until she finds her own place. She tries to console her friend, but Anya only wants to cry and complain about her horrible ex-boyfriend, with whom she wants to reunite her relationship. Even Dimas tries to cheer her up by claiming she is the sexiest girl in town, but it doesn't help Anya. Natasha approaches her the next morning after she spends the night on the balcony. Natasha tells her about a friend who was in a similar situation as Anya. Her boyfriend dumped her via text message because she had gained weight. Instead of moaning and complaining like Anya, the girl went to the gym and slimmed down in a month. The poor boyfriend regretted his decision so much that he filled her office with flowers and begged her to reconsider. When Anya complains about not having enough money to join a gym, Natasha suggests she take advantage of the 1-week free trial offered by all gyms in town and do it for free. The next morning, Anya says her morning affirmations, drinks a glass of water, and goes to the gym for the first time in her life. She takes some time to get used to the equipment and falls off the treadmill several times. But all of her efforts are useless because an hour later she is at the restaurant eating for two. Natasha, a restaurant worker, throws her food away, disappointed that she couldn't commit to more than 2 hours. She requests that her friend demonstrate some willpower. When she gets home, Anya applies moisturizer to her entire body and wraps it in plastic wrap. She hopes the trick will help her lose a few pounds while she eats a bag of chips. She tries to steal food from the refrigerator at midnight but is caught by Natasha. The next day, she vows not to have anything harmful. Because she works in a bakery, this is very challenging for her. She licks icing off her fighters while decorating a cake and then does 10 squats to compensate. Throughout the day, food tempts her, but she resists. She is left alone with the whole cake at one point. She looks at it for a few minutes, trying to think of a reason to eat it. She gives up after pacing about and nearly smashing a shelf and devours half of the cake at once. Anya recognizes she has a problem. She finds a self-help organization for persons suffering from a compulsive eating disorder and attends a meeting. A lone man named Kolya is among the women. Anya presents herself as Angela and claims to be free of an eating disorder. Instead, she claims to be a journalist working on an article about eating disorders. The group tries to rationalize with their situation, refusing to admit that they have a problem. Kolya, outraged, points at each of them and calls them overweight, including himself. He also claims that Anya lied about being a journalist because she refuses to admit she has a problem. Anya exits the meeting pretending to take a phone call, but Kolya follows her. He invites her to a nearby restaurant and Anya goes only because she cannot say no to food. Kolya suggests they become fitness sponsors for each other. As a result, they must exercise together on a daily basis, ask each other before eating anything, and provide emotional support throughout the process. Anya is suspicious about Kolya's true intentions, but she sees no harm in exploring. They begin running at a park every morning the next day. Anya is initially hesitant to be with Kolya, but as time passes, she finds that he is a lovely person. He is not ashamed of his body, which is new to her. Spending time with him teaches her to appreciate her physique. They communicate before every meal and are wonderful at assisting each other because they are dealing with the same issue. Anya begins to lose weight gradually. Her self-esteem worsens when she attends pool parties and sees thin girls looking stunning. Kolya assists her whenever she is upset. To relieve stress, they frequently scream at the top of their lungs. Kolya is envious of Anya's obsession with Zhenya's approval. She loses 10 kilos in 1.5 months and is prepared to meet Zhenya again. She purchases a swimsuit and pretends to run into him at a pool. He is a teacher and is taken aback to see her. After a bit of speaking, they jump into the pool and begin throwing water at each other. Everything is fine until the girl from the wedding arrives and reveals herself as Zhenya's fiancée. For the second time, Anya is heartbroken. She drinks and parties all night to forget about him. She wakes up naked in Kolya's bed the next morning. He tells her that he did not snoop on her while she was undressed. A flashback from the night before sees Anya preparing to leave with a stranger, but Kolya came just in time and received a punch in the face to save her. She rushes to her mother's place after the unusual morning and tells her everything. Anya, according to her mother, has unsolved pain from her father's abandonment when she was a child. As a result, she seeks Zhenya's approval despite the fact that he is unkind to her. Anya realizes what she means and goes to see her father the next day. Because the trip is 5 hours lengthy, she hires Kolya as her driver. On their way, Kolya frequently tries to get closer to her, indicating that he likes her, but Anya seems unconcerned by his advances. They finally meet her father, Sergei, who lives in a wooden cottage with a woman. Anya questions him about why he didn't want to be a part of her life. Sergei, on the other hand, reminds her of the day he showed up at her birthday party with a gift but she turned him down through the window. At night, Anya accidentally drops a candle and lights the wooden house on fire. Sergei shouts at her for destroying his house and neglecting her safety. Anya and Kolya quickly return home. She kisses him on the nose before they part ways. On his way home, Kolya feels on top of the world. He even sells his watch to buy her flowers. Zhenya appears somewhere else and apologizes to Anya. After a period of talking, they end up making love. As Kolya returns with the flowers, he notices them and leaves disheartened. Anya wakes up alongside Zhenya, who remarks that she looks so much better than she did a month ago. This helps Anya understand that she does not desire an uncertain relationship in which she is constantly afraid her partner will leave her. They have another argument, and Zhenya walks away. She goes to Kolya's house that evening since she wants to see a friend. But Kolya is so angry that he gives her an apple and proclaims that their sponsoring relationship is over now that she has dropped weight. She goes to Natasha's house the next morning, but no one answers the door. She enters the house dangerously through a neighbor's window and a pipeline. Natasha and her husband apparently had a heated disagreement, following which he fled. The girls communicate to each other and feel a lot better as a result. Sergei returns the next day to see Anya and apologizes for being a lousy father. He also dances with her, much like he did when she was a child. After the two reconcile, Anya attends a fitness marathon to meet Kolya. She discovers him enjoying a cold drink and throws it away, expressing her sponsorship authority. She also argues that because he has not lost enough weight, it is her job to assist him in any way she can. They run the marathon and finish it with all their strength. Kolya eventually gains enough bravery to kiss her. Anya learns for the first time in her life that worrying over her appearance will not make her happy. Real happiness comes from embracing oneself exactly as you are, as Kolya did. He always worked hard to improve his health but was never ashamed of his appearance. Anya strives to be like him.